Hello, everyone. So, I am going to introduce myself and explain the kind of content that I do. A lot of my YouTubers, viewers, are probably like, "Why are you doing this again?" Well, it's because I'm doing something that I've talked about doing many times in the past. I'm actually going to go through with it, and that is diversifying on multiple platforms. So we got VidMe, we got various different places. I'll go over the full list, as well as some thoughts on Patreon. So I'm a game developer who has been doing game development for a really long time as a level designer, and the topics that I usually discuss are either level design related or just technology related in general. I like to talk a lot about artificial intelligence, cryptocurrency, any kind of technology related things, really cool stuff, robotics. But the vast majority of my content is me building stuff in Unreal 4. One of the most recent projects that I just completed was a Doom 2 level called Redemption of the Slain. Uh, and I'll be reposting content on all of the new SKUs as well. So you're probably wondering, what SKUs am I going to be shooting for? Well, the list is actually quite large. It's probably larger and more aggressive than most other content creators at this time right now. Alright, so here's the full list. You you're probably aware of my YouTube channel because you're probably watching this video on the YouTube channel uh, that currently has the largest following. Um, then I have my VidMe channel, which I just started up, like literally earlier today. Steemit is probably my core place for releasing content because you might notice these dollar amounts on the posts that I've been posting. Like for somebody with my size following, which is really humble, very small. I got 75 followers. The money uh, earned on this page has just been really good for somebody with 75 followers. Um, it's just been a really fantastic place, in all honesty, and I've been kind of using this as my main place for doing posting and stuff like that. Minds. I have a Minds account that I also post my videos, usually going to be a link to my Steemit um, and everything like that. Rabadabba, I used to have a content on here. I haven't done anything with that, but it is also monetizable, and Minds is also monetizable. I'm still kind of setting things up and making sure that it's all in place, but I've been using Minds for quite some time, and Minds is pretty badass, honestly. So I want to go into a little bit about some thoughts on Patreon. Now, I noticed that a lot of people are kind of afraid of using Patreon because it feels weird. I can't agree more. Like, it feels weird to even just put a Patreon up. Like, I know that I should have one though, and I think that's the thing. I think we need to get over that idea that content that we put up online is not worth something. I think we need to stop thinking about things in that way. And I realize that a lot of the time you don't want to be making money for content that you're posting up. Like it's definitely going to feel really strange to put content up if you're trying to talk to your grandma and like it's social media doesn't always seem to be the greatest place for value building. Like Facebook is kind of good for that, but it's also been kind of toxic in that it helps us forget the honest truth, and that is that everything that we do online is worth something. Even if it's playing a video game, if you're playing an MMO and you get a weapon off of a drop off of a monster that you just killed, that thing's probably worth a few cents. I know that it's really interesting. It's probably something that you kind of have to get used to. But in all honesty, we should really, really, really try to move out of this idea that we shouldn't be making money for everything that we do, basically. Well, I've been guilty of the same thing as well, and I went ahead and I did a Patreon. Now, one of the things about my Patreon, I kind of have like a list of people that I'm currently following. Uh, is that you might notice that this is probably a pretty ragtag bunch, but these are a lot of users that I really enjoy their content. Um, and there's a lot of people on this list that I really enjoy their content or find their content useful. Like I may not always agree with them, but I'm glad that they exist because they make me think about topics that are difficult and challenging. And then there's just some really badass artists and stuff like that. So my goal actually is going to be to start giving like the full list of people here like a certain amount of money. Like I think that giving everybody $1 isn't really the best way to go about it. I think actually it makes more sense in general to like make sure that you have a large number of people and you give them like 25 cents or 50 cents or something like that. And it over the course of a year, it sure it does add up. You'll probably, $12 a year if you're just giving one person $1. My goal is going to be to like, give about 20 people $1 a month or something along those lines, like 20 bucks a month or something. That's more than most people will. But the thing is that you have to understand that if this is a habit that everybody forms, that if more of us start doing this, even if it's only for 10 cents, shit, if it's 5 cents, just just like make a list of everybody you like and give them like a tiny bit, as much as little as you feel is valid, right? And even if it doesn't seem like a lot, if it's a habit that enough people make, we'll actually start crowdfunding people more reliably, and content creators will have something where it's like trickling in. But if you have 100,000 people all giving you 25 cents, that's a significant amount of money, right? Whereas right now, most people probably don't even think about it and like, well, if I can't give you $1, then I'm not going to give you anything at all. Like, even if it's just 5 cents, even if it's like a tiny amount, it's just a good idea to do because I think crowdfunding is just going to be a major way forward. Cryptocurrency, on the other hand, is Steam it right now is fucking vastly underestimated. Like, if I'm making like a post and getting like 15 bucks, right, and I have 75 followers, sure, that might just be one person, a whale, or maybe this is like confusing because it's cryptocurrency and stuff like that. Oh, I really recommend learning more about cryptocurrency and getting used to the idea of it and figuring out how it works because it really is not a small thing. And I highly recommend that as well because right now, like things like Patreon are using fiat currency, and we're when it comes to things like this, it's the line is blurred, and you can earn, like, people can give you money without directly giving you money. And you're probably thinking, well, how does that even work? Like, if somebody upvotes you, you get like based on how much Steam power they have, like based on the Steam power value, they can they can generate new currency. So in a way, whenever somebody gives you an upvote, they are paying you, right? But it's because the currency is devalued because extra currency is made. So it's like a really crazy system where it's much harder to really understand how it works. So anyway, I'm I'm going to eventually slowly get it, make sure that this list and then maybe a few others that I'm going to be like kind of nudging things around. The only thing that I've kind of noticed that's slightly annoying is people who want money per video. I think Undoomed and Teal Deer. I love you, Teal Deer, seriously, but I mean you're asking for money per video, and I'm trying to think of like just crowdfunding like a certain amount. If everybody follows that habit, it's just give me the option to just give you like a certain amount a month. It makes things easier for me because it's more predictable. Like, what if you decide to release like 50 fucking videos in like 1 week or something? Like, it really fucks with my budget as far as trying to do all that. Anyway, and unless maybe it really doesn't work that way. So I'm going to be diversifying in all of this, and I cannot stress enough that um, that there be some kind of a way to mass upload a video. If I had just one feature, is to be able to upload the video once and then have it aggregated to every one of these places at the same time. Well, Steemit uses YouTube, but Minds has its own, Rabidabba has its own. I think even Patreon does. Like, I think I can use YouTube for Patreon. So with that said, I'm gonna be making a presence on all of these other places. So you'll be seeing uploading on VidMe, and I'll try to include links to all of the different locations that I'm doing all this. And sorry if I rambled too much. I'm gonna end the video here. Hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more.
Back from the dead.